We've just spent another week talking about cryptocurrencies. So let's once again ask the question, is it free money or is it fool's gold? This is Inside AB. I'm Jeremy Lawrence. This is Eddie Taylor. Okay, Eddie, let's ask this question once again. Is this the investment of the century?
Well, it certainly was last year if you timed it really, really well. I mean, Bitcoin last year rose 663%, which is an extraordinarily climb when you compare it to like the other big kind of ticket investment items like Apple stock, which rose 49%, Dow Jones that rose 19%. And Bitcoin only, at the turn of the year, it was only $1,000. So, only $1,000 per coin, but it went to almost at the brink of 20,000 by the autumn. So it really was kind of like on turbo all through the year. And that's where the phrase "to the moon" came from, where people in message boards and in chat rooms were predicting the next big boom for any cryptocurrency that offered a slight move up in the market.
Okay. Can you just tell us about the wider market for cryptocurrencies at the moment?
Well, we've had kind of 2 or 3 years of a launch of all of these cryptocurrencies following in Bitcoin's wake. And we've sort of seen a little bit of frenzied activity that reminds people of the late 90s .com boom. And the whole market last year reached a peak of $588 billion, which is an extraordinary amount. And we were seeing coins being offered by all kinds of organizations and financial institutions, and getting celebrity people to tweet about them. You know, Paris Hilton and Harry Redknapp, the former England football manager, was suddenly marketing cryptocurrencies and ICOs on their personal Twitter feed. So it was a really sort of dynamic year last year for the space.
I must admit, I never thought we'd be talking about football manager Harry Redknapp, Paris Hilton and a cryptocurrency. But that's the way life moves on. Okay, everybody knows it's not just Bitcoin. Everybody knows there's lots of alternatives on the market. You've been looking at some of these. Tell us what's hot and what's not at the moment.
Ether, which is built on the Ethereum blockchain, is probably the one that's going to challenge Bitcoin for the top dog of the cryptocurrency world, if you like. It was launched in 2015. It's built on something, or it's built on a blockchain that's able to use something called smart contracts, which is basically about a peer-to-peer instant verification of contracts between people. And that's seen as very, very important. And it's almost being seen as its blockchain as the current gold standard. And it's the blockchain on which many other digital apps, including other digital currencies, actually build their proposition. So this climbed to a high of 1,417 quite recently, actually, but it's dipped down again a little bit. But a lot of people put their money on this one, being this one's the safe bet, if you like, for the year 2018.
Okay, we got Ripple.
From safe bet to rampant speculation, I would have thought. But Ripple has been the enfant terrible of the cryptocurrency world. It went from 23 cents in October, November, and people like me were telling everybody, invest in Ripple, and it climbed to the moon, as they say, to coin a phrase, up to $3.20. And it's since crashed down to $1.6 and it's settled again. So it just goes through these wild, wild swings. So it's a very, very unstable investment. But it is the one token, the one cryptocurrency that is actually used by the major financial institutions. It's seen to be replacing SWIFT codes for instantaneous cross-border transactions. It's being used by people like American Express, and some of the big banks are talking about using it now. So it's the one that's kind of got the institutional financial word interested, and that's why, you know, you might have lost your shirt at the beginning of the year when it sort of swooped down between values, but it might be the one that kind of is still worth backing.
Okay, this next one I don't even know how to pronounce.
Doge. I mean, this one is just a joke. I mean, that's how crazy this world is. It was started by a guy called Billy Marcus and a former Adobe employee, Jackson Palmer, essentially as a joke, something that kind of started on message boards and grew over onto Twitter. But before you know it, the coin had been launched and it had such a fan base that the market cap at the end of last year was $2 billion. So we put this up there not because I think you should spend any money on it, but because it sort of explains this fevered hype and frenzy about the cryptocurrency space right now.
Okay, so the word volatility doesn't even really start to describe what's going on here. Let's talk a little bit about this.
I mean, the trouble is, you know, we could be talking about this and the prices could have gone through the roof in the 5 minutes that we've been on camera, while we've been on camera, or it could have dropped and we could have lost even more money. In fact, that rocket probably really should be pointing the other way. A couple of weeks ago, you know, we're talking about losses of $100 billion in a single day off the market capitalization. That is absolutely crazy money, and we have to sort of advise caution here for anybody that's thinking of putting their retirement savings on Ripple. you've got to be prepared to lose a lot of money. Obviously, the risks of gaining a lot of money is still there as well, but be really careful with your money.
Okay, the really big players, the institutional investors, the Warren Buffett's of this world, they're not on board yet.
They hate it. Let's be honest with you. I mean, you had Warren Buffett's quote here, as I can say almost with certainty that cryptocurrencies will come to a bad end. I mean, that a lot of people dismiss that as kind of old school thinking. But people like Jamie Dimon of Goldman Sachs turned around and said it's a fraud, the whole thing. Or other people have just used words like Ponzi scheme. So there's caution to be had. I personally disagree with them. I think that cryptocurrencies have a genuine place in a portfolio. I think they're an established part now of the financial world. But I think with any investment, you've got to understand the volatility.
And of course, they're not talking about blockchain, though, are they necessarily here? Just talking about the hype around these specific coins at this specific time.
Exactly, and I think that the way to look at it perhaps is the coin or the token is kind of the shop window. The underlying technology on which they're built, the blockchain technology, is genuinely transformative and it's genuinely disruptive. And we will be doing pretty much everything on some form of blockchain within 5 years.
Okay, so looks like we're going to be talking about cryptocurrencies for the foreseeable future. You've been watching Inside AB with myself, Jeremy Lawrence, and Eddie Taylor. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're live every day at 10 a.m, so join us then. See you.